Hello again, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all well. Okay, so back in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and in this bloody beautiful parking spot. And whatever that thing was that we could see going up the mountain is just up there. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, right, let's get going. So we're off to Italy in this episode. Let's quickly do that. Okay, and away we go. Yeah, so in the last episode I did some awful parking for our overnight, and I've brought it up for absolutely no reason other than to humiliate myself even more. Okay, and yeah, once I've finished doing this one, I'm going to be uploading a video, so it won't be a gaming video, it's just some of the equipment that I used to use, and obviously where we've got a few lorry drivers yeah, watching this, if you can think of anything else, like if there's anything that you use daily that I've missed out, because obviously it's a few years ago that I was a lorry driver, please feel free to let me know, and I'll pin your comment or something like that. I think I can only pin one comment, but I can add stuff to the description. Yeah, because we've got at least 3 people, I know it's not many, but we've got at least 3 people watching the series who are thinking about becoming a lorry driver or have booked their training, so are actually going to become lorry drivers. So obviously any help for them would be hugely appreciated. And it's not me begging for comments at this point, it's just yeah, I think that we should all try and help each other out, especially getting into something as daunting as lorry driving. So it is really daunting when you first jump in a lorry, because you're so high up and it's so bizarre, and obviously you're thinking about how much weight you've got, thinking about Christmas and how much you ate. No, you know what I mean. Right. So yeah, it's quite daunting. So any help is perfect. Oh, right. They've got their hazard lights on for some reason. Right, there's been an accident. Okay. Don't. God, it's so nice, isn't it? Oh. I wish the UK wasn't so cramped, because there are still some beautiful parts of the UK, but you have to jump on a train for a long time to get to it, where I live.
Keep left.
Okay. Right, are we taking him? Looks like we are, doesn't it? Okay. Swerving all over the road. Right, it says parking here. Just gonna have a quick look. That's good as well. Yeah, it's nice parking. Yeah, like I've said before, the UK's quite lacking on here, and it surprises me really, because obviously a lot of the audience is in the UK, so it surprises me that yeah, SCS has never really done much. Oh Jesus. But then thinking about it, probably the majority of people that play this game don't want to be driving in the UK anyway. So I used to have quite a few clients. Obviously, we're going to Italy. I used to have quite a few clients in Italy, and yeah, one of them was working for a company who thought he was living in Italy, but in actual fact, he was living in London, and flights were so cheap that he could work it for this Italian company, but live in London. And I thought that was excellent, but it always used to surprise me because he loved London so much, and like London's so gloomy and bleak in my opinion, and obviously Italy is, well, obviously not all of it, but a lot of Italy is beautiful. So last time I went abroad, I went to Italy just for a day. My dad found some really cheap flights there, like really cheap. I think they were 12 quid or something. So yeah, I went there in May. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I need another break. Yeah, I've got something coming up, but it's not, yeah. It's more torture than anything. But yeah, that's to come. And that's one of the reasons. So recently I've been so busy, so obviously trying to research all that kind of stuff, and yeah, get the little bits of equipment that I need for it. It's really taking its toll on me, but I desperately want to do it. But that's something that's coming up probably November, October or November now on the channel, and it's completely different to this. But it's for a charity. What are you doing, mate? Yeah, this is pretty as well, isn't it? Right, we're going. There's this loser here. Yeah, so since I've used, almost said his name then. Since I've used them suspension settings and then put that harder suspension mod on that I showed in a previous episode, the handling is so much better. So I don't feel like it's just going to tip when I'm going for it. I feel like I've got probably about 70% more control. Yeah, base game, it feels like there's a suspension component missing, in my opinion. Right, so an hour and 7 away. God, you're all over the road, Johnny. What are you doing? Yeah, and I am actually a quarter Italian, believe it or not. I'm only half English, because I'm quarter Italian, quarter Irish. But yeah, it was certainly a nice day out. Holidays don't have to be expensive. I know that obviously I was only there for a day, but that's just because I didn't have time to be there for longer than that. But yeah, you can get some really cheap holidays. So the holiday I had previously to that abroad was in Madeira, and that was mega cheap because I planned everything. So yeah, I found like the cheapest flights and the cheapest hotel, and I didn't go to the main city. I went just near it, but I prefer that because I don't actually like tourist areas. I feel that they ruin everything.
Right.
But yeah, so Madeira is an island of Portugal, and yeah, it was mainly older people that lived there, like residents, and yeah, so it's no Ibiza, but that's fine with me because I was too old for Ibiza anyway. But yeah, really nice people, cheap food and everything, really high quality, perfect. Cheap flights, and it's one of the most... Oh, careful, Jolly. It's one of the most dangerous airports to land at, apparently. I don't really know what I'm doing here. So yeah, the pilots have to have special training, and yeah, it's really good.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, and I sat on the left-hand side of the plane. So as we were flying in, well, yeah, as we were flying into Madeira, I got a proper view of the island. It was excellent. Volvo. We've got a Volvo. We've got a second-hand one.
Straight on.
Right. So 5 minutes away. Almost there. 2 G-Wagons. Come on now. Right, and in
Right.
here.
And then turn right. Turn right.
Yeah, so we went to Pisa, and I know I said I didn't like tourist areas. I didn't go up the tower. Couldn't be arsed. Like, yeah, really not my kind of thing. But yeah, when you go to tourist areas, it's really difficult finding decent food, and we had to walk a long way to find, yeah, a kind of authentic restaurant. So that kind of ruined it for me. I like going into the kind of heart of places. Okay, right, let's get this done. Delivering fish. And obviously when you go to oh god, when you go to big place like that as well, the scams that you see everywhere. So I'm quite good with scams and, like, yeah, knowing about that kind of stuff. And yeah, I did witness a few things, but it happens everywhere. There's scam artists in London for sure. But the police, they were everywhere. It was good. Okay, right, so that's that done. But yeah, I couldn't really get over the fact that the armed police were wearing jeans. It just didn't feel right. Right, cargo market. And can we go down a bit? Venice, Milan. That's where we are now. Florence. That'll do. Okay. Yeah, so it was a little village. The biggest place to where my family was from was Florence. But it was a little place, kind of,
Turn left.
I think about an hour and a half away from it driving or something. Oh. Right, here we go. Yeah, and I was asked whether I recommend getting one of these range splitter gear knobs as well. So I think mine was about 50 quid, and that is very expensive, isn't it, for a bit of plastic with 2 switches on. You can make them, so I think someone that I watched before because I was trying to decide whether or not to get one. I think someone that I watched got an old mouse and yeah, made it do exactly the same. So if you're quite creative and useful, you could make one. It is good having it all over there. So obviously I've got a H shifter and then this range splitter on the top. It does require another USB, obviously, and yeah, when I got it, couldn't use it for a day because didn't have enough USB ports. So yeah, it was either drive without the web camera, so without the face tracking, or drive without that. And yeah, I couldn't record without the face tracking. Some people are really good with the mouse, but I like having my hands on the wheel. They were going for it. But yeah, 50 or 60 quid. It does seem a lot of money. Yeah, and the one I've got, it's the wrong way round, so it's for left-hand drive lorries rather than right-hand drive. So yeah, that took a little bit of getting used to. Because yeah, that switch is on the left-hand side, whereas it would be on the right-hand side in the UK. Well, this is nice, isn't it? Yeah, and a lot of my clients wanted to move out of Italy and move to the UK. It's just mind-blowing. Like, I shouldn't keep mentioning smoking, but I'm an idiot that smokes. Cigarettes out there are so much cheaper. My goodness. Like a third of the price, if not a little bit cheaper than that. You can get decent coffee that costs bugger all, as long as you're away from the tourist areas. So as a little example, when we were near the Leaning Tower of Pisa, I was trying to get away from it. I was saying, like, we need to go somewhere far away so that we can get authentic rather than tourist. And one of the shops that we walked past was selling coffee, and yeah, I picked up one of the menus from the table and it was 8 quid for a coffee. 8. But then where we eventually actually got a meal, it was yeah, more like £1.50, which is still quite expensive, I know, but yeah, if we'd have gone even further, we would have got it a lot cheaper. Right, here we go. steering wheel screaming. I hope you heard that. It is actually quite funny. It's very quiet. It just sounds like a distant scream. Probably because it knows I'm about to park. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my driving. I've only had maybe 2 days off or something, but yeah, I just don't seem to be able to drive on her anymore. It's probably just because I'm so tired. Yeah, that thing that I'm doing, that charity thing, is really taking up a lot of time, and I'm even dreaming of it. Which is annoying because I'm watching so many videos trying to kind of prepare for it. And obviously the only time I can do that is just before bed. And sometimes I fall asleep with it still playing. And yeah, I had a really bizarre dream the other day. Okay, right. So Florence, here we come.
Get ready to turn left.
Yeah, it was a tiny little village. I think about an hour and a half away from Florence. I think the population's 1,000 or something. So properly low. Yeah, one of the biggest shocks there, though, was the bloody perfume. My goodness. Like, they bath in it or something, I think. I mean, yeah, it was lovely. I should have gone through there. It was lovely, but it was just a little bit overwhelming. You felt like you wouldn't be able to eat for a few hours, because you'd be able to, yeah, taste the perfume. Right, we haven't got any lights on. I never drive without lights on.
Get ready to turn right.
Okay.
Turn right.
Right, keep left, is it? Sky? Oh, it's alright. Right, so we've got 103,000 now. Trouble is, we need to pay off a loan, and before I can do anything else after that, I need to yeah, buy another garage. So it's difficult. I don't know what SGS is, but in the UK there's a company, it's not the same company, but it's also called SGS. And I bought a generator off them years ago, and their customer service was terrible. So when it arrived, it had been damaged, and I think I bought it off eBay. So it was a 4-stroke generator, Honda engine clone, and yeah, when it came, it was battered, like the packaging and everything. So I took pictures of it, and yeah, I only took pictures of it, and then yeah, opened it up, and the fuel tank was bent so much that it creased and it had a hole in it, right? So massive hole in it, and I thought it's pointless putting fuel in. So I messaged them and said, yeah, the fuel tank's battered, and they said, if we send you a new fuel tank, are you happy to keep the product? And offered a slight discount. And I thought, yeah, why not? Like, it was 4 bolts or something to put the new fuel tank in. And I think the generator itself was blue. And yeah, so I waited a few days and they didn't send it priority or anything. They didn't send it out like next day. So I waited a few days and then eventually I got this fuel tank, this big parcel, opened it up and it was red. They'd just sent the cheapest fuel tank. So I thought, well, I'm annoyed about that because now I'm not receiving a product that, yeah, looks how the advert looked. I know I probably shouldn't be going over here, but it saves a collision. And yeah, so I was quite annoyed about that. They might be better now, their customer service might be a lot better. So I messaged them back and said, I think I've been sent the wrong one. This looks nothing like the product I paid for. And they got really arsey about it. And yeah, so I just used the eBay return thing because, yeah, it was quite a lot of money. I think it was about 300 quid or something. And it was, I think, blue and black with, it would have had this like bright red fuel tank. Oh, annoying. But yeah, they might be alright now. But I don't think it's the same company. This is nice. Let's choose jollier house, shall we? So I want to live in the middle of a wood. Or at least with lots of trees round. Okay, wrong time to say let's pick jollier house.
Keep left.
Okay. Yeah, we do need to go over. Don't slam on, mate. Don't slam on. Oh, what you doing? What is that? Is it a roller coaster or what? Don't know. Yeah, so even though the map is flipping huge, obviously I've never got near 100% completion, 100% exploration. Yeah, nowhere near. I think in my first series, I got about 30% or something like that. Scanny, you letting me out, mate? Cheers. I didn't need to come over here, did I? Oh well. Right, so what time are we at? 28 minutes and an hour and 20 away. So I'll try and go for it a bit so that we get some more parking on here. So there might be some speeding coming up, but I won't be too reckless. That looks good up there somewhere, please. Yeah, I just need decent fibre optic. And not even a car now, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know whether I'll ever own a car again. It's just too expensive. Yeah, so maybe an electric bike. I think they're really cool. But yeah, some of them are ridiculously expensive, and I was looking at electric push bikes years ago, and you look at reviews on them and the thumbnail will say cheap e-bike and it'll say the range and everything, and yeah, halfway through the review you think, right, how much is this? And you go on there and it's about 5 grand. If I'm going to be spending 5 grand on something, I'm having a car or a motorbike. Not a bloody e-bike that can do 30 miles. Yep, so down there, please. Maybe not right at the bottom. Oh no, what's all that? Was that rubbish I just saw? Oh, up the curb. Did you see that, mate? Alright, it's only a Renault. I've got nothing against them Renaults. Right. Let's go back over. Right, 36 minutes away.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Okay.
Exit right. Continue straight on.
Yeah, there was a lot of them scooters in Italy that you could hire. So electric scooters, like yeah, the ones without a seat. And they did seem to be being used quite a lot. I don't know whether you're allowed to, because in the UK it's a bit of a scam. In the UK, certain counties or boroughs or whatever, you can rent them, but you aren't allowed to own them. So it's obviously backhanders. So someone's, yeah, been given a backhander, and then, yeah, that company is making an absolute fortune. And they've got a monopoly. Right, what's occurring here then? Oh, for goodness sake. That's not reverse, Jolly. Right. Pretend that you can't see this. So what I should have been doing is looking for the little green light. So now I'm going to go over there. And I don't care if I crash. Yeah, it's not bright enough. I don't think. Because obviously, in real life, if it was that dim, people would just be doing what I did all day long. And then, only when it got dark, people would know what lanes to be in.
Keep right, and then exit right.
So many years ago, the Dartford crossing in the UK, you have to
Right.
pay, and I'm old enough to remember having to pay out the window, so you'd literally stopped at a booth and gave the person a quid or 1.50,
Turn left.
and yeah, I got to one once, and yeah, the bloke was tapping buttons and everything, nothing was working, and yeah, I always used to say hello. Obviously you wouldn't get into dialogue with them, but always used to say hello, and he looked really stressed,
Get ready.
and he said, "It's broke, mate, it's broke, gone," and he just put the barrier up. And yeah, I got a free thing, but it was, I felt bad for him, because obviously, yeah, he was just about to have loads of grief where his system had broken or something.
Continue straight on.
Okay,
Turn left.
so 3 minutes away now. We will stop here, but we're just going to barge our way out. Because lorry, oh, we're not really barging out anyway, are we? But we are going to have to cut you up, sorry mate.
Right.
Oh, cheers. See, I like
At the
Italians.
roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now.
Okay, up the curb. No, not quite. Perfect.
Turn left.
Okay. Right.
You have arrived at your destination.
Okay, and it's round the back, so... yeah, it's going to be this way. Lexus. Oh dear. Well, there you go. Is he an electrician? People are usually very shocked when they realise how bad of an electrician I am. There you go, that one's free. Here all week. Okay. Oh, so it does look like you can get around either side. Right. Let's try not to mess this up. I love this trader, I really, really do. I know I keep going on about it. But yeah, well received, so thank you everyone who yeah, mentioned it in comments and everywhere. Really appreciate it. Okay, that'll do. Right. Handbrake on, let's claim the money for it. And then, yeah, unfortunately I can't record anymore, so... Right, I'm going to level up. Perfect. And let's have a quick look. Right, we'll do... that one then. Perfect. And... what have they got? Actually, no, I'm not going to select another one because, yeah, that means that we'll get a kind of parking job to start off with on the next episode. Right, so, thanks for joining me, everyone. I do really appreciate each and every view. And if you've liked this, please feel free to join me in the next one. So, cheers, everyone, and bye for now.
Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Brighton, fast to East Croydon, then Red Hill, Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges, Baldcombe, Haywards Heath, Wivelsfield, Burgess Hill,